Community Designs is proudly brought to you by Design Build Expo, Australia's ultimate trade event for architecture, building, construction and design professional communities. Visit designbuildexpo.com.au for more information.
Hi, my name's Monique Woodward and this is another episode of Community Designs. Today we're visiting the Braybrook Community Hub. Let's go check it out. We're standing here today on this beautiful artwork in the foyer of the Braybrook Community Centre. I'd like to introduce Jim Chrisp, who's the architect for the project. Jim, tell us about this gorgeous space.
Thank you. This project really is the culmination of a range of developments associated with getting different community activities into a new building. So the objective was to get a strong community engagement and to allow the community to feel warm, friendly, and feel safe within this building. We've brought in a range of external natural materials, timbers, polished concrete into the facility, so that it's both robust and has a warmth and sort of helps the community feel comfortable with the space.
Yeah, no, it's got a gorgeous sense of address from the road. Do you want to talk about the materiality and the motifs of the entry?
To the outside, we've used some glass with some tints in it, with also a motif of the eucalypt leaf and nut.
Is it true that this was actually a renovation?
Yes, it was a renovation of an existing project, so we've built a new building around it. It's very much a building in the round, so that every element of the site is set like a front door, so people can come in from either the childcare area or from the sports area or from the library, all feeling as though there's a sense of they have their own arrival space and a connection, and this central hub allows all people to overlap and to engage and connect with other components within the centre, so that offers diversity and variety.
Yeah, it does seem to be sitting quite high up on the land. Do you want to talk about why that was important and those level changes? And
the existing levels were set very much by the existing building, but we saw that as an opportunity for the building to sit on a prominent position, and with the glass screens and the library to be allowing people to sit within the building and to be comfortable, to oversee where the community is, and to reinforce that sense of a safe environment, so they can be learning on improving their education and their health if they're in the community health centre, and at the same time feeling as though there's a strong community focus.
We're standing in front of the library. Do you want to go in?
Sounds good.
So here we are in the beautiful library. Jim, tell us about these gorgeous panels.
This is a great opportunity to see the view out from the upper level, looking through the glass with the timber and the connection to both the landscape and also the elevated position you get from where we are.
Yeah, I think this is my favourite space. I think you get the beautiful windows, they open onto the oval behind. You've got the beautiful really Australian motif on the windows, and I don't know, I kind of feel like it's a really optimistic space.
I think part of the whole design was to get a sense that from people coming into this space, they could, using education as an opportunity for them to improve and to learn, and given the the community or the client group that opportunity to learn and improve their position was fantastic. And from an elevated view within the building, they can get a sense of what's happening around them, and the motif we developed from the leaves of the eucalypts within the site. So we thought that was a nice connection, and the panels also give an impression of the pages of a book opening up, and therefore sort of connecting to the back to the street.
Yeah, I love how suburban, I guess it is. It's sort of the banality of the suburbs, and the facility almost sits sort of at a similar height to the houses behind, but sort of really does have that civic presence. I don't know, I really enjoy sort of looking onto the car park. It kind of feels really sort of, suburban, and that it's sort of sitting tucked away into the landscape. It's nice.
It was a difficult job to try and get a context where we've got an existing building in the middle of pretty much a paddock, and the connections across the road aren't particularly handsome by their nature. So we wanted our building to feel as though it was both was a civic building, and it had a quality and a richness to it. And the idea of the panels on the outside very much was a transition and an ability for the building to sit comfortably, and importantly for the clients and the visitors to the site feeling as though they were comfortable and safe. There's been a strong connection through our early works with the focus groups on how they wanted the building to feel as though it was theirs, and to have an understanding of how they could engage with it. And there's been a fantastic response from that perspective. There's been no vandalism and really a great engagement. So we've been very pleased that that's been an outcome in a pretty interesting environment as it was.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the old building that was originally here, and how it sort of went from the original building to...
So there was no library originally, so that's been one of the major advantages to bring the library into the new project. But there was a community health component, there was a hall, and there was a small childcare centre. But they were very, very much sort of behind brick walls with no sense of looking out or being engaged with the community. And at the same time, there was vandalism, and it was a very sort of tough environment, I think, from that perspective. So by being open and outward looking, we've tried to change the community perception on the building, and the community's responded fantastically well under that basis. Yeah,
I guess it's one of those things that if the community feels that they've been invested in, they'll take ownership of the building itself and take pride in that building.
We can't ask the community to respect or engage with the building if they don't feel as though they have had a sense of the community has been given them some investment in assets, and sort of the whole sense of the community being provided with better facilities makes them feel good, because they feel as though they're being respected, and they feel as though they're being encouraged to participate. So I think that's been a good outcome.
Jim, do you want to talk a little bit more about the user groups and what impact they had on the spatial arrangements of the place?
Each of the user groups really had their own focus in terms of how the library was going to work within its own environment, how the childcare group needed to have a connection with the landscape space. But our view was we wanted to make sure all of those things could work well, but at the same time there was a central focus where you came in through a common entrance, and from that perspective everyone was engaged in all of the elements. So whether gentlemen were in the men's shed or whether the sporting people were coming from their area, they could still come through and borrow a book on the way out, or get engaged in some of the other elements within it. So we think the overall design, by having many of those groups combined within one building, gives a better overall outcome than it would be individually providing those facilities in a separate arrangement. So the notion of a hub as a combined entity, we think, has a much more powerful position both in the community and from the sense of how the community enjoys the overall building.
Maybe talk a little bit about the spaces that come off the library, the meeting spaces, and how those are used.
I think part of the objective was that while people were in the building, they didn't have a sense that it was you're either in the library or only in the library, so that there was computer spaces and meeting spaces that could connect to those primary circulation areas. So at different times they could be used by students within the library, or they could be used by the community spaces, and you'll find people on sewing machines or doing art in some of these spaces. So there's a real diversity of what's happening in those areas, and there's quite a range of different groups that are all working in those spaces at different times. So there's very much a sharing, and through that the connection and the integration works really well.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Jim. Thank you so much for joining me, Soraya. Tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Soraya and I live in Braybrook. I shopping in Braybrook and I work here as well at the hub. My children go to school in Braybrook.
Yeah.
And I am Braybrook.
And what does this community hub mean to you?
Well, this community hub means a lot to myself and to my community because this new building that we get, we have new library that of our friend in community, they never read or write or join library, but since this library open, they become the member of the library. That's a really big achievement for our friend in the community. And also this building is equal in job opportunity. It create job within the community as well. Like myself, I work 2 days here with co-health. And also this building really important to us because it's a place for education, for training. We got computer class, English class for our community that they just join us in Braybrook. New arrival, they need a lot of support, and we got a lot happening here. We got parent group, we got sewing class, we got English for beginner, like they can't speak English, they come here to learn. And we got cooking class as well, cultural cooking class from different culture. So this building is really important to us because it brings the community together from diversity background. People come from different background and it bring them here together, and the activity that provide within this hub is really important to our community. And we're very grateful that we have this building. The new building is really good for us.
And tell me about Braybrook On Board.
The Braybrook On Board is a great opportunity for people who are passionate about community and want to get on board and take a leadership role. For myself, my experience about this program is helping us to fill the gap between community and the council. Because this program initiative by Maribyrnong Council and Victoria University, through this program help us to understand that the Maribyrnong Council is actually working for the community, which is a lot of us, we didn't know that before. We thought they just collecting ticket fine and council rent and that sort of thing. But joining this program help us to understand that they done a lot for community. So we really grateful for the program. And also that through that program, it gave us opportunity to learn the skill about notice and observing the needs of the community and get the support by the council for us to run a project. Braybrook On Board 2015 from last year. I did the Chin project. The reason I did the Chin project because I observed that in our community we got a lot of Chin, which is from Burma. They new to Braybrook and they're not really settling in because of culture and language. So therefore I observed the needs and implement the project called the Chin project and helping them to have 6 workshops, which is learning English through hand-on activities, like informal but fun.
That's so important.
This building have bring positive outcome to the community. We receive things that we didn't have before. Like this building been stand for nearly 2 years now, and we don't have vandalism. It's because the community appreciate what they got, and also this building is a starting point for us, something positive that community can build on together, and they can build on together and find a sense of belonging, and then contribute back to community in the future to come. So that's why this building is important to Braybrook.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so
Yes.
much. I'm here in the kindergarten with Mona and Hamda. Tell me a bit about what this space means to you.
So the space is actually quite incredible. It means a lot to myself and the community. There's a lot of services here. There's the child maternal nurse, there's co-health that's here, there's a social worker, there's a library. It's just a bunch of services that you can access. So it's like all the one services in just the one community hub. So it means a lot. You don't have to go too far, and it connects us as a community to just come together, and you meet a lot of people from the community and whatnot. So it's really nice and really empowering.
Yeah. And you do volunteer work as well?
Yeah, I do volunteer work. So I've started volunteering since February, and that's just really helped me get, introduced to a lot of kids in the community and help them all the way from prep to year 12. They come bring their work, and we have a lot of tutors, and it's just growing every day, and it's so nice to see the kids improving in their education and just coming somewhere where they can get help and feel empowered.
And what's your favourite space?
So my favourite space will probably be the library. I love reading, I love books. It just looks amazing. It's like a place full of just treasure, and then you can just get lost, different, genres, and it's really nice. I just love reading, so my favourite space will probably be the library.
Yeah, awesome. And there's a lot of, international books within the library. There's a lot of...
Yeah, there's a lot. And they also have it in different languages, so people that don't speak English as their first language can actually access, like I think there's Arabic, Vietnamese, and they're able to still feel connected and understand things because there's those books and stuff like videos, DVDs, all that stuff that are in different languages. So it's really nice.
That's so awesome. So what's your favourite space?
My favourite space would be the library because I also love reading as well because it keeps me nice and relaxed, and it's also a good place to do your homework and keep quiet.
And you come here with your friends?
Not all the time.
No.
Yeah.
But you come here for tutoring?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah. And what do you learn when you're being tutored?
When I'm being tutored, I learn maths. I do projects sometimes. Reading and much more.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, cool. And so why is this building so important to you?
Because I feel like the community is an amazing place.
Yeah, awesome. What do you think has been the biggest impact on the community?
The biggest impact I just feel like is just the way that everyone can just come together and they're able to access the services regardless of their language, regardless of how long they've been here. It's just accessible for everyone to get help and to come together and just to really know who lives around here and stuff. And it's just really nice that we all get to connect on that level and grow and become successful.
Yeah, amazing. And so you're at university now?
Yeah, I'm at university and I'm studying public health and health promotion, so it's just my passion to have healthy people and have them be able to access healthcare no matter what their background is, and just have fairness for everyone. So it's a really nice place to just come together and meet the community, because I do want to work with them one day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. We're standing in the infamous man's shed and I'm here with Stephen Wall. Can we talk a little bit about how the project came to be and your involvement?
Certainly. So Maribyrnong City Council back in 2011 commenced a project called Revitalising Braybrook.
Yep.
The council had recognised that Braybrook was a disadvantaged community and it needed some help. The Revitalising Braybrook project looked at a number of initiatives to help change the suburb of Braybrook and give the residents of Braybrook what they deserve, which are facilities and services equal to that anywhere else in Melbourne. The Braybrook Hub is probably the pinnacle of the Revitalising Braybrook project.
Yeah, this is an amazing, amazing space. Do you want to talk about what happens in here?
Oh, this is the men's shed. So the Braybrook Hub has a lot of different functions and facilities, and men from the Braybrook community come in here and congregate and socialise and create some amazing things. So it's a wonderful space.
Yeah. And how was the project funded?
So the project cost council about $12.5 million, with $3.5 million coming from the Victorian State Government.
Yep.
$9 million from council, so a very significant investment from the Maribyrnong City Council. And
so were you part of setting up the brief for the space?
I'm currently the Chief Executive Officer of Maribyrnong City Council, have been for the last 2 years. Prior to that, I did spend some time as the Director of Corporate Services at Maribyrnong City Council, so I was here in the early stages of the Revitalising Braybrook project. And part of the Braybrook Hub is Braybrook's first ever library. You know, in the 21st century, to have a suburb, an inner city suburb of Melbourne, which has never had a library before, was a disgrace, and council recognised that, and the library is, you know, one of the most important parts of this facility, and we've had over 250,000 visitors in its first year of operation to the Braybrook Library.
Yeah, and so maybe talk a little bit more about the impact that it's had on the community.
It's had a staggering impact on the community. There is so much pride within the Braybrook community for this facility. It is interesting, in the western suburbs of Melbourne, graffiti is often a problem to us.
Yep.
The Braybrook Hub hasn't had any graffiti on it since it's been here over a couple of years.
Yeah.
I think that in itself speaks volumes for how much pride the community have in this facility.
Yep.
And again, the community of Braybrook deserve facilities like this, and council is particularly proud that they could deliver such a facility.
Yeah, no, it's incredible, and I guess the stories that we've heard from different people that have been using the space have been so optimistic. It seems like it's had a real impact.
Well, it's changing lives. The Revitalising Braybrook project, as I said, there's many initiatives that fall under that banner, but this hub is a place for the community to gather, the community to socialise, the community to learn, the community to come and attend to their health issues. We have a really diverse community in Braybrook. 50% of the population don't have English as their first language.
Yeah.
So a facility like this provides tremendous opportunities for the community to come together and to become strong.
And so what's the sort of 5-year plan for this community, for this space? Do you imagine it sort of evolving over time? And
So surrounding the facility, you would have noticed there's sporting ovals and there's playgrounds. The council has got some plans around further enhancement in the open space. We did have a fairly significant playground that is in the process of being replaced. So again, council won't take their foot off the pedal in regard to this facility or this suburb, and there are lots of plans to continue delivering good services and new infrastructure into Braybrook.
Yeah, no, I noticed on the wall there was a beautiful plan for the playground. Maybe talk a little bit about that.
So unfortunately, a little while back, we had quite a significant playground, the airplane park, as it was affectionately known, because it was a play space that was in the shape of an aeroplane. Unfortunately, it was destroyed by fire, and council's in the process of replacing that. And we've been engaging with the community. Braybrook as a suburb has a long history with regard to planes. There was Air Force construction and connection in Braybrook back during the early 1900s. And so council is trying to capture that heritage, and let's face it, a plane park's pretty good fun.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So what's your favourite space?
Oh, look, I like the library. I think the library in Braybrook, and we have a number of library facilities across the city of Maribyrnong, but the Braybrook Library is by far our best, and I'm really proud of the fact that I was part of the team that delivered this first ever library into this suburb. It is so loved, and it is always such a great place to go, and it's always got such a good vibe about it. So for me, the library, hands down, is my highlight of this facility. But there are many other parts of it, not the least of which are the men's shed. I mean, how it's probably a little too flash for a men's shed, to be honest. But we're very lucky to have such a great facility, and our staff are particularly proud to be able to work in the library and to support the community.
Yeah, I think, a round of applause to you. I think that the council have done an amazing job, so thank you so much.
As Chief Executive Officer of the council, I need to acknowledge the councillors that have been particularly at the forefront of driving this change to Braybrook. A number of our longer term councillors have spent a lot of time working with this community, and again, my hat goes off to the councillors, because again, it was a significant investment by the council of the day. There are lots of needs and lots of wants for the city of Maribyrnong, and for council to commit to this investment was an outstanding decision, and I think it's paying off big time now. Yeah,
I totally agree. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Pieces of architecture like this have a massive impact on the neighbourhood. Join us next week for another Community Designs.